Kristen Simpson with Simpson Dental Associates is here to take your questions. If you have a question about your teeth, you can call the number that's coming up on your screen. It's 1-877-924. There it is right there. 924-7888. Doctor, did you watch the Super Bowl last night?
I did, yes. Very
I
exciting.
had to go to bed. You watched the end of it. You got to see all the fun. I missed out on that.
Yeah.
Well, while we're waiting for some calls here, let's talk a little bit. Dental cavities is the #1 childhood disease. I did not know that.
Yes, a lot of people don't realize that cavities are a disease and they're contagious. It's basically a bacteria that causes a cavity to develop. It's Streptococcus mutans is the main bacteria. So this can be passed between like one tooth to the next tooth, from mother to child. So you need to, really be aware of it, and it is a preventable disease. So, it's something that if you're keeping up with brushing and flossing, making sure that you're not eating sugary things throughout the day, it's something that's completely preventable. But, it does progress a lot of times in kids, and like we said, it's the #1 childhood disease in kids.
You talk about flossing a little bit, because when I was a kid, and sometimes even now, well, I wasn't a kid anyway. Flossing is one of those things where, brushing your teeth, you know to do that, but you can kind of skip over the flossing a little bit.
Yes.
Mom would always get on you about that.
Yes.
You don't want to skip that, right?
You don't want to skip flossing. It is important. It's the only way to get in between the teeth, so it is important to make sure you're keeping up with the flossing, too. It's best to do it at night before bed. I wanted to make sure that when we're talking about, cavities being the #1 childhood disease, on Friday we're doing Give Kids a Smile. So that'll be an opportunity for kids to come and get some dental treatment done for free.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the phones now. We've got a call from Terry. Terry, good morning. What's your question for Dr. Simpson?
Well, thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
It seems like after I turn 65, I have a problem. I have a crown, and I've been having a problem with it. And I brush it, obviously, twice a day, and I floss at night, and I use sensitive rinse and all that. And I can't understand why I'm starting to have problems with this crown. I've had it in for 8 years.
Okay. Well, a crown is still susceptible to decay right at the margin of the crown, so where the crown meets the tooth. So that might be an area that if decay is getting around the crown, it could make it sensitive, and if the tooth hasn't had a root canal, it can also be sensitive. So it might be something you need to just have it looked at and see if it's starting to abscess or if there's recurrent decay around that crown. So that'd be something you need to get an x-ray of it to know for sure what's going on there.
All right, that's a very good question. Let's go down to Stephen. Stephen, good morning. What's your question for Dr. Simpson?
I was wondering if most of my molars are missing in the back of my mouth.
Okay.
If I were to get a full set of dental implants, is that possible still? And do you know what type of price range I would be looking at a full set of dental implants?
Okay, well, with dental implants, of course, there are lots of things that you have to consider. If you have enough bone height to be able to support the implants, if you're missing, most of your back teeth, you might only need 2 implants, and you could kind of bridge together the tooth replacements there. If you need to have grafting done in the area, that can affect the price of what it'll cost, so it's just something that we can't really give an estimate until we see you and take those diagnostic films to know how much bone height you have, how many implants you would need, what type of implants you would need, and how we can restore those implants. So, really it's impossible to give any type of estimate, but it is going to be quite an investment because implants, just a single tooth implant is, about $1,500 just for the implant itself. So it is going to be an investment, but it'll be worth it to be able to get those teeth back and support the bite.
And that is something you guys specialize in a lot. You're constantly having the seminars and all kinds of things informating the public about that.
Yes, we like to keep people educated on dental implants, especially for the older population that's missing a lot of their teeth. These implants can really help them.
All right, Dr. Kristen Simpson, we had some good questions in today.
Yes, we
Thank
did.
you very much.
Thank you.
And coming up next, a big surprise for Justin Timberlake. Coming up next, we'll tell you